What's up? What's up? You are now listening to Dee Dee Walker live show on YouTube. Listen, I'm sitting here drinking some bullet coffee. I'm trying to get into shape. Didn't think that I would ever do this. It is no sugar. It's butter, real butter, some coffee, and a little stevia to sweeten it up. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. So anyway, I thought I'd come on here because I wanted to do a conclusion to a story that I was talking about before. So let me ask you a question first. Would you discipline your child if you found out that they were selling drugs on school property and they called you? And how would you discipline them? Would you go up there and whip their behind in front of everybody? Or would you just kind of pull them aside and say, hey, don't do that again? So I asked this question because of the conversation I had before. So I'm sitting here chilling out. I'm looking on my phone, because the music was playing. The music was playing. Anyway, up comes one of my favorite stars on Love and Hip Hop is now facing 54 years in jail. Yes, 54 years in jail. I was like, what? So I read a little bit more, and apparently she was facing 54 years in jail because of child abuse. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, nah, this can't be true. So I look and I started, looking a little bit more, and I get on to social media, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. So just to let you know, you guys are y'all probably caught the fever of Love and Hip Hop, watched it, you're on to the next thing. But me, I'm just now watching it. So I'm catching the fever, and I'm starting to come to attach to certain characters on Love and Hip Hop. And Tommy Lee happens to be one of them. And I'm finding out she is now going to be facing 54 years in prison. Well, what happened was, and this is alert of all old school mamas. And I got an old school mamas. I come from a generation of old school mamas. So my mamas probably would have been facing 54 years up in jail too if I was up there selling drugs on the school premises. Now, I'm going to say allegedly and all this other good stuff because I don't know the whole details of it. But what I do know is when she finally broke her silence and she was like, listen, she got a call from the school. She went up to the school. The school told her child was selling drugs. She roughed up her kids. And unfortunately for her, when she did this, there were cameras that saw this, and she wound up having to almost face 54 years of jail. She wound up pleading out, and she only served a year. But she still believes in disciplining her kids. And she did this because when she was young, she was falling behind the same thing, and she was cutting up chalk trying to sell it to her friends, and her mom came up and embarrassed her. So she figured, well, I don't want my child going to jail, so I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and give my opinion about this. And I want you guys to leave comments. I want you to subscribe and tell other folks about it. And I will get back with you as best way I can. I'll respond to the comments and stuff like that. But for me, I probably would have been facing 54 years too, because I don't want to see my kids in jail. And I'm going to go up there and I'm going to rough them up and I'm going to embarrass them because I don't want to see my kids in jail. So unfortunately, that's what she had to go through. So Tommy Lee, if you're looking at this, I love you, sis. Keep on doing what you're doing. If you're out there doing some other stuff, I will support you. I don't know the details of it. And I do want to say this. I am not at any way feeling that it is okay to beat or abuse any child whatsoever. That's not okay. So I don't know the whole story, but from based on the information that I'm getting, that's a thin line, right? A thin line. Anyway, you're talking to Dee Dee Walker Live. I'm just letting you know what I think, and I'll be back real soon. Make sure you subscribe.